The ratio of hydrogen and oxygen in hydrogen peroxide was found to be 1:1. When we know the ratio of the two atoms which are present in a compound, we get the formula, the empirical formula of the compound. So the empirical formula of hydrogen peroxide is HO. That is, the ratio of hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms are in the ratio 1:1. We call it empirical formula. Empirical means from experiments or from experience. So this shows the ratio of the two atoms which are present in the molecule. Now if we calculate the empirical formula weight for hydrogen, it is 1. For oxygen, it is 16. So for hydrogen and oxygen together, we get 17 atomic mass unit. So now we know that this is the empirical formula, that is the ratio of hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms are in the ratio 1:1. So this means it can be anything. It can be HO, H2O2, H3O3, H4O4 and so on. Because we know that the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is 1:1. We do not know the exact formula, that is the actual number of atoms of hydrogen and oxygen. Now later on, experiments, they showed that the actual mass of hydrogen peroxide was 34 atomic mass unit and not 17 atomic mass unit. So from now, we know that 34 atomic mass unit is the actual weight of hydrogen peroxide. So if we see, for HO, we are getting 1:17. If we take H2O2, we get 2:17. Similarly, H3O3, the mass will become 3:17 and so on. So now for which one do we get a mass of 34 atomic mass unit? In this case, we get 34 atomic mass unit. So this shows that this is the actual formula of hydrogen peroxide. And this formula is known as molecular formula. Molecular formula shows the exact number of atoms which are present in a compound. From empirical formula, we know that the ratio of hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms in hydrogen peroxide is 1:1. But we do not know the exact number of atoms of each hydrogen and oxygen. But when we know the molecular weight or the actual weight, we know or we saw that the actual weight was coming out to be 34 atomic mass unit and not 17. So from that, we can conclude that the actual formula or the molecular formula of hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. Now, it's not very easy. In order to avoid using 1:17, 2:17, that is, if we have to check the molecular formula, we do not have to do each time 3:17 and so on. We simply take n for this number so as to calculate what is the total number of atoms of each species which is present. So in order to avoid using 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, we use n. So from here, we get n is equal to 34/17, which is 2. And that is why we multiplied the empirical formula with 2, which gave us H2O2. So this n, when it is multiplied with the empirical formula, we get the molecular formula of the compound. So we can calculate n, a term, a number which gives us the actual number of atoms which are present in a molecule. And this we get by taking the molecular weight and dividing it by the empirical formula weight. We have an organic acid, CH3COOH. Now what is the empirical formula of this? Let's see. So for calculating or for finding out the empirical formula, we see the number of atoms which are present in the molecule. So we get there are 2 carbon atoms, there are 3 + 1, 4 hydrogen atoms and there are 2 oxygen atoms. We know the empirical formula shows us the ratio in which the different atoms are present. So for this, we simplify the different atoms which are present in order to get the simplest ratio of the 3 atoms. So now, if we take the HCF of 2, 4 and 2, the HCF of 2, 4 and 2 is 2. So on dividing each by 2, we get for carbon 1. When we divide 4 by the HCF, we get 2. And for oxygen, we again get 1. So we can ignore these ones. We simply write this as CH2O. So this is the empirical formula of CH3COOH. For finding out the empirical formula, we need the simplest ratio in which the different atoms are present. So in this case, we see that the simplest ratio in which carbon, hydrogen and oxygen are present is in the ratio 1:2:1. So this is the empirical formula of CH3COOH. What do you think is the empirical formula of water? That is H2O. So again, in this, you see that there are 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. We have to find out the simplest ratio in which the 2 atoms are present. So if we take the HCF of 2 and 1, we get 1. So if we divide 2 by 1, it remains the same. Similarly, for 1, it remains the same. So we get H2O. So the simplest ratio in which the hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms are present is in the ratio 2:1. So this is the empirical formula of water. A very significant organic compound of carbon and hydrogen, which was used for many industrial purposes, it contains 7.7% hydrogen. The molecular mass of the compound is 78 atomic mass unit. We have to find out the empirical and the molecular formula of the compound. It's given that the atomic mass of carbon is 12 atomic mass unit and that of hydrogen is 1 atomic mass unit. So first of all, we see that there are 2 atoms, that is carbon and hydrogen. So the 2 different elements which we have in the compound is carbon and hydrogen. Now, we see the percentage of the 2 different atoms which are present. It's given that there is 7.7% hydrogen. We know a compound is 100% complete. So if we have 7.7% hydrogen, the remaining percentage will be of carbon. So if we subtract 7.7 from 100%, we get that we have 92.3% carbon. So this is the percentage of hydrogen and this is the percentage of carbon. Now let's assume that we have a certain number of carbon and hydrogen atoms with us. This total amount is 100. So this is the total weight, that is the entire amount we have is 100. Now we'll separate the carbon and the hydrogen atoms. We have separated from that complete mixture of carbon and hydrogen atoms. That was the compound. We separate the carbon atoms and the hydrogen atoms. Now we weigh them separately. So if we weigh them, we had seen the percentage compositions. So for every 100, we have 92.3, that is the weight of carbon atoms. And for every 100, we get 7.7, which is the weight of hydrogen atoms. So for carbon, it is 92.3 and for hydrogen, it is 7.7. Now, we have to find out the mass of each carbon and each hydrogen atom. So when we weigh each of them separately, we know that the atomic mass of one carbon atom is 12 and that of one hydrogen atom, it is 1. So we know that one carbon, it has the atomic mass 12 and one hydrogen has the atomic mass 1. Now we have to calculate the number of atoms which are present. The number of atoms of carbon and hydrogen. We know the total percentage composition of each. We know the mass of each carbon and hydrogen atom. So in order to calculate the number, we can divide the total percentage composition by the mass of one atom. So what do we get? We get the atomic ratio. That is, it now shows us that we have 7.7 of each carbon and hydrogen. This shows us that for every 100 AMU, we have 7.7 carbon and 7.7 hydrogen. This means that the ratio of these two is 1:1. Now if there is any amount, if we change this number 15:15, it will remain the same. It shows that for every 100 atomic mass unit, the ratio of carbon and hydrogen is the same. So we have 1:1 ratio of carbon and hydrogen. So it shows that if we have a collection of carbon and hydrogen, the number of carbon atoms and number of hydrogen atoms is the same. So for this, since we have to find out the empirical formula, we simplify this ratio, that is 7.7. So we know this is 1:1 ratio. So on simplifying it, we get 1 and 1. So this shows us that the ratio of carbon and hydrogen in the compound is 1:1. So now we know the simplest ratio in which the two different atoms are present. So this becomes the empirical formula of the compound. So this is the empirical formula of the given compound, that is CH, which shows that the ratio of carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms is in 1:1 ratio. So now on calculating the empirical formula weight, the atomic mass of carbon is 12 and for hydrogen it is 1. So we get 13 atomic mass unit. This is the empirical formula weight. We are given that the molecular weight is 78 atomic mass unit and we know the empirical formula weight, which is 13 atomic mass unit. So we can calculate the factor N, which is the molecular weight divided by the empirical formula weight. So we get 6. So now in order to find out the molecular formula, we multiply this 6 with the empirical formula. So we know that the empirical formula is CH. On multiplying this CH with 6, we get C6H6. So this is our molecular formula. This shows that the simplest ratio in which carbon and hydrogen atoms are present is in the ratio 1:1, which is the empirical formula, and the actual or the molecular formula, which shows us the number of carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms, is C6H6. That means there are 6 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms. So whenever we have to find out the empirical formula of a compound, we see the different elements which are present in the compound. Then we find out the percentage composition of each element. After that, we know that the atomic mass, it shows us the atomic mass of each atom which is present. Now we know the atomic mass of each atom. On dividing the total percentage composition by the mass of each atom, we get the atomic ratio of the two different elements. So now from this, we see that this is the ratio of the number of atoms which are present for the two different elements. So now when we get this ratio, we can simplify this ratio in order to get the empirical formula. The empirical formula gives us the simplest ratio in which two or more different elements are present. So when we get the atomic ratio, we further simplify it to get the simplest ratio, which gives us the empirical formula of the compound. So once we know the empirical formula, we can calculate the factor n, which is the molecular weight, by the empirical formula weight. So now when we know the empirical formula, we multiply it by this factor, so we get the molecular formula. This is how we find out the empirical formula and the molecular formula of any compound.